Hello everybody, welcome back. I am continuing to work in my little holiday journal, Junky journal that I'm making. And today I wanted to do the hot beverage prompt, which was for day 7. And then day 8 was holiday napkin. Today is, I think, the 11th of December. So I'm just kind of behind, but I also kind of combine them into the same page sometimes. So I'm going to work on those today, and then I think I might work on the tree part. We'll see how far I get. So I am a tea drinker, and this is a peppermint tea envelope, or not envelope, but little packet that was foil. So I cut it in half and stitched it onto a piece of recycled mail to give it some stability. And so that I could use it as a pocket in my book. And then I wanted to use the holiday napkin. So this was my napkin that I chose to put in here. This was given to me in a swap, or somebody sent it to me. So I'm going to stick it in here, and I chose this page to do that. So I'm actually just going to use a glue stick. I know, like, a lot of people can use decoupage medium, Mod Podge, that type of thing. I probably should have protected my background a little bit. So let's actually do that. Like that. And then I'm just going to lay this on top here. And I'm not going to, I don't plan on painting over it or doing any wet work on top of this, so I don't actually mind if it's not, you know, completely sealed. Potentially I could go back in later and seal it, or, you know, really stick it down well. But because it's just a junky little journal, I am okay with just using a glue stick right now. It seems to be sticking okay, actually, with the glue stick. But yeah, that's the napkin part. I can probably use these little bits of napkins in another place in the journal. But I put my napkin down, and then I can trim it a little bit. Need to trim it that much. All right, and then I was going to use my tea bag, but I actually don't want to cover this up now. I think when I was playing around earlier, I thought I'd maybe have the bird up so you could see it a little better, but I actually just kind of centered the bird. So I don't really think that there's a way I can do this if I want to see the bird. So that's okay. We can put the pocket elsewhere. So this little tea bag can do here maybe. Let's do that. And let me grab my glue. Actually, didn't want to glue the foil down. I didn't think it would work really well, but I'm going to just do this. And I only went around the edges on the back, so I could actually potentially create 2 tuck spots, one as the pocket and then one behind it. So there's that piece. Nice and easy and fast. So this was the hot beverage. This was the napkin, which we can probably do more with. The other thing I wanted to do is, in my very first video, I had put this tissue in here, and the more I looked at it, the more I didn't really care for it. So another prompt, and this is prompt for day 11, is tree. So I had a leftover piece of green paper, and I was going to stick that in there as a tree. So let's do that today. I just ripped it into kind of a triangle shape, and see if I can get this stuck in there without too much trouble. So that to me, I like that better. The lighting's not so great, but it is a green paper. And then the other thing I wanted to do was add these little balls on here. They're just little 1/2-inch cutouts from a leftover, piece of paper, to kind of keep with the little ornament theme, I guess. So let's do that. I'm going to glue these down. And I'm hoping that everybody else that's doing these little prompts is having a lot of fun. I think it's fun. I like it. And for me, just trying to keep it, like a manageable time, pretty, pretty short. Just keeps the momentum going, I think. So yeah, I'm just going to stick these here. That. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then I might go in later with a marker or a paint pen and do some little maybe doodles in the red dots. And then I also want to kind of write on the background here some song lyrics. And then the other thing I wanted to do was to fill this in a little bit. And so I made kind of a little snippety thing. I've seen a couple people do this with fabric, and this is leftover ribbon. And I was going to stick that on there to give it something, a little something. So let's do that. Give it a little bling on the page. Because I had used a glitter paint, but it didn't really turn out that well. I didn't really care for it. Okay. The other thing I have is this little, it's a post-it, like one of those long post-it notes that was written on, and then I kind of cut the written part off and cut it into a tree shape. So what I want to do with this is I actually want to put it on this page for my door. And the other thing I did was to update my door a little bit. Last time I had left off with the door, but I put a little bit of white on the door to kind of look like it was frosted, a little bit on the button there. And I stamped little packages with a stamp in there. But I'm going to put this tree here because this green is almost the same green as the wreath color. So let's do that. Now, I also like that this paper is lined, so if I want to write on it or journal on it, it has lines for me already. And then I can fill in something on this side of the page later. So I'm going to cut this off, trim it. All right, so I'm almost at time, but what I got done today was the tea packet and the napkin, which I'll have to work on a little bit more. The napkin, and then adding a pocket. So this is actually a pocket as well, and that's day 10. and then a tree. And so this was a tree. I do have another tree that I'll be putting in here in the center, but I'll show you the center spread in another video. Thanks for watching.